That's right, today we have a sponsored video. BestArc. I had never heard of these guys until they had reached out to me on TikTok. They sent a BTC 500 DP, I guess, is what we've got here. It is their 7th generation plasma cutter. So apparently it's the fanciest one that they've got. And we're going to tear into the sucker and see what it's all about. Look at that cute little guy. Here's your roll for 220, and I believe they said it comes with an adapter. Looks like it's got a whole box of consumables here. Nice. It did. Came with the 220 to 110 adapter. You can use this thing on 110. I believe it's auto detecting. It senses what kind of current it's got. Very, very tiny little ground hose. So you make your own. Came with a couple of consumables. Not as many as I'd like to have. Looks like it came with 2. Neither one of these are drag tip. Contactless tips. So guys, we got the ground, we got the hose, we got a bag of a couple of consumables. And I said that it came with the contactless tip. Multiple. Well, if I could ever get it out. It has a spacer sent with it, so that's actually pretty darn handy. Yeah. And it didn't come with any extra cups, sadly. Those do tend to break. So I'll get this sucker set up, we'll get ready for a test. Let's start by getting everything hooked up here, shall we? Let's go with this first. Can pull the washer off. We're going to put this on, put the washer back on, tighten that down. We're going to want this to be off to the side just a hair. So then we have remote wire. We're going to put that on like so. Guys, my first impression off of this machine is literally identical. I mean, almost everything is identical to the Yes Welders. So I am assuming, don't hold me to it because I really don't know, but I am assuming they're either a sister company or they're the same machines with different shells. So that's my thought. Like I said, I could be wrong about that, but that's just my guess. Got our positive lead on there, we got our negative lead on there, and we got a remote wire tied on. So let's plug this thing in, see if it blows up. Okay, we got her plugged in. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my ground before I turn it on, just because. So we're gonna put that right there. This is away from the machine. On switch is on the back. So here we go, moment of truth. Power on. Let's see what she does. Hopefully the breaker slipped for the machine. All right, so there you have it. The breaker was actually turned off, so it's not that it's a bum machine, hopefully. Now, here we go. Moment of truth. Ooh, we got colors. Trying to get this to where it doesn't have a whole bunch of glare for you guys. There we go. E05. I bet it's because it's not sensing any air pressure. 0 PSI. I want to see what these do. It's not going to let me do anything. Okay. Hopefully, I'm going to hook up some air to it, and we're going to go from there, guys. Okay, we just got some air put to this thing. It shows 0 PSI, and I'm not quite sure why that is. 15 amps. We go all the way up to 50. Ooh, it's got some pretty LED stuff there for your, just to go beside your numbers, which is actually pretty cool. So it goes up to 50 amps, and it goes all the way down to 15 amps. So we're going to set this to 30, and 2T and 4T. I have no idea what the difference in those are. Oh, shit. Scared me. Oh, I tell you what, that scared the crap out of me. So what does this do? PT. Okay, post, PA. I don't know why it's not showing PSI. I've got this thing hooked up. There it goes, 98 PSI. I would like to be able to take that down a notch. It recommends nothing more than 70. It says it has a regulator built in. Okay, so this is your pressure. I'm going to set this to 60. Maybe not, it's still going down. I guess it's catching up. I'm gonna let that level out and see what it does. I may have taken it way too far down. Still going down, so we're gonna, oh, there we go. Somewhere, we're just gonna lock that in. We're gonna leave that right there. Okay, so we got that figured out. This is a test. Runs your air, so you can check your pressure while you're running your air. I don't know what the 2T and the 4T is. This is your post-flow and after-flow, or pre-flow, after-flow, which I'm actually going to see. That is set to 03 seconds. That's 05 seconds. We're going to see how that runs. I'm going to set this down to about 30 amps. So we're going to get a piece of probably close to, oh, I don't know, 3/16 steel. We're going to set this thing up and we're going to cut it, see how it does. Okay, so I found a couple of pieces about 1/8 steel. It's pretty nasty, it's dirty, it's not clean at all. So we're going to test this little welding machine out and see what it's all about. You know what, let's just see if it'll ground off through the table. Maybe not. We're going to try it out. We'll see how she runs. Again, 30 amps, 50-ish PSI, set at 52 when it's running. It's about 48. So we're going to see how she does. We got this drag tip on here. Anyway, no more talking, let's just do it. Okay. Runs pretty good. I'm going to turn the amperage up. It's on 30 amps, and like I said, this is only like 1/8 steel. It's not doing bad, don't get me wrong, this is nasty stuff. It takes it a little bit longer to actually burn out that material than you would expect. I'm going to try the actual drag tip, put it straight down, try to do a 90-degree cut. I'm going to leave it on 30 amps for now. I haven't really tested this. Let's see what she tells us. Okay, so the 30 amps, even on 1/8" steel, you got to move fairly slow with it, which is fine. We're going to turn it up to 40. Again, this is a max 50 amp machine, so let's see what it does on the 40 setting. Maybe it's a little bit better. Oh yeah, much better. It's pretty smooth running little machine, really. Kind of like that. Let's try. So that's 40 amps. 40 amps is not doing too bad. Again, this is dirty 1/8" steel. It's not super thick. They say that it will cut up to, I think it was 1/2", which just based on the way it's cutting 1/8", I'm not sure if I believe that. Let me go see if I can dig something out. We're gonna just turn this sucker up and push it to the max. Okay, so we found a railroad tie. Or not tie, railroad track. This was what looks to be like an old anvil project of mine. So let's see if we can shape this. I'm going to max out the little machine here. And I'm also going to crank up the PSI. It recommends not to run anything over 70. 70 PSI is what it recommends to be the max. So let's run it at 70. And see, it turned red. I see, that's why. Okay, we're gonna run it at 65 PSI. That's one red bar. It has a green range. Too low is obviously bad, and too high is obviously really bad. So let's see if we can shape this a little bit. This is super thick. I'm gonna move my leads so I'm not blowing directly down on those leads. Let's see, I'm gonna poke a little hole right here on both sides to start off with that. Pretty thick on the inside, probably getting closer to 1/2 inch, and we'll just see how it does. Gonna go straight in with it. But I might not. Looks like that might have to be, we're only about halfway through that. Let's come from the edge and see if it bites into it. It's pretty thick. Come on. Okay, it won't do it. We're maxed out on amperage, which again, guys, it's like a $200 machine maybe for a plasma cutter. It's not bad. You can see it's getting real close. Let me get the tape measure. So this is exactly 1/2 inch. Right there where I was cutting is exactly 1/2 inch. And as you can see, hopefully, it almost made it all the way through, but it's just not quite getting it. So, anyway, let's see if we can shape this up a little bit. We still got her maxed out, 50 amps. See what she tells us. She may not like it, I don't know. And I may have to take this guard off, but until I get good with it, probably I'll leave it. Probably don't want to spray towards the machine. I don't know what that looks like on camera. I'll probably blow it away from both of these. It has a fairly long arc on it too. I like it so far. I mean, as small of a machine as it is, it's not that. It's definitely not that, but that's like a $5,000 machine, and this is like a $200 machine. If you're just getting started and you want a plasma cutter to cut thin stuff, yeah, so far this is looking good. Kind of like that actually. Let's round this off. Do not blow it at my machine. That wasn't very round. Let's try this one more time. Okay, that did better. Let me show you what I did there. I started on the thin side. I put some heat to it, and then I ran out to that 1/2 inch spot, and right at the tip where it hit that 1/2 inch mark, it did not quite go through it. Now, with that being said, if the camera will focus, with that being said, it got pretty darn close. So I would say you can cut, I would say this is probably a good machine for 3/8. If I'm being completely honest, it will probably clean cut 3/8 pretty well. Again, we're still in the maxed out setting, running 65 PSI, which is technically in the red zone for this, but yeah, we're gonna try it. You gotta move a little slower than I'd like. Okay, so I did pretty good on that. Like I said, that was 1/4 inch. It's not too bad, but the machine is maxed out. So, here you go. Not a bad cut. I had no line reference or anything, but I mean, it gave a pretty good little cut there. Not bad. Okay, so that was the BestArc BTC 500 DP. So we tried up to 1/2 inch on maxed out settings. Again, 50 amps is its max. And then you can run it all the way down to 15 for scribing or cutting extremely thin stuff. And then 60 PSI is the last green bar. You'll notice it has a red bar, 3 green, and then it goes to 2 more red bars. They say not to push it past 70 PSI, and anything over 60 actually puts it in that red zone on the machine. So 60 PSI is what we were running at 50 amps, and we could not quite cut 1/2 inch. I would say that this is probably a 3/8 thickness cutting machine, which for a lot of people, you know, that's fine. Again, it's not a big ESAB Power Cut 1300. It's not that type of machine. Those can cut like 3/4 of an inch steel. This is literally a $200 machine that will cut up to 3/8 clean and pretty. Super, super handy. As opposed to those ESAB machines, I think the ESABs run like $5 grand for the big ones. I don't know what their little ones run, but guys, if you're balling on a budget and you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want to have a handy little plasma cutter, I would recommend this. I would. I will either have a link to check these out on the video, or it will be somewhere in the comments. I don't make any money off of that link. It's just a place to direct you. If you guys are interested, you can check out their selection. I'm not even 100% sure what the prices are on these. It's called BestArc. I assume it's a cheap Chinese brand, but like I said, my testing so far, it's not a bad little machine. So if you guys are interested, go check them out. And as always, guys, share this video with somebody that might be interested and follow along. If you want to support the page, just give me a follow. Appreciate it.